to Tranmere then. How much of a relief was it to get a win? Maybe slightly fortuitously in terms of the goal, but 3 points is 3 points.
Yeah, we'd take it. The way the run we were on, I guess we would have taken the 3 points any way possible. It'd been a long time coming. We'd been fine. We'd been close in times and not held on to leads in other games. But it wasn't even, again, it wasn't a great performance from us. But let's just say this sort of time we are in the season now, all that matters is the 3 points.
Having got that win now, can you put your finger on why, from going through such a rich vein of form, it was really hard to get a win all of a sudden?
I don't think there would be just one reason. Otherwise, I think we would have solved it straight away if we knew exactly what the problem was. But momentum was massive. We had the momentum before, and when that comes away in football, it can be hard to get it back. I think there's some games where we've still played well where we should have won, which we weren't winning. And the games we didn't play well before, we would somehow win the games as well. But hopefully this win on Tuesday will give us a little kick going forward for the last 3 games this season.
What's your mindset heading into these 3 games? Because all options are still on the table, aren't they?
Oh, our mindset is we take 9 points and we see what happens and hope for the best. I think that's pretty much what everyone's saying. If we can get 9 points from these 3 games, we've got every chance still that possibly we could still be in those top 3 positions.
And what about for yourself, Calum? Still your first season here. You obviously came here permanently in January. You look like you've really found your groove this season.
Yeah, it's been very nice to be able to play consistent football, play week in, week out. It's something I've not really had at other clubs. I think that's been a massive benefit to it. Being able to play all the time, it means you're getting that sort of rhythm, and especially the way the games are at the moment, where it's been game after game after game in sort of a shortened down season. It's been good to get that going, and hopefully I can take that into next season here. And
you had a loan spell at Barrow, didn't you? What was that like?
I did a few years ago now. We were struggling. We were in the National League then. But it was good, a great experience for me at the time, because everyone knows when you're playing in that sort of under 23s bracket, going out and playing men's football only really benefits young players. So it was good at the time. We struggled a bit as a team, but we managed to stay up in the league, and then now they've kicked on as a club.
Good luck for the weekend and for the rest of the season too. Thanks, Calum.
Yeah, thank you.
Calum, Tranmere obviously went on a great run through the middle of the season, charging up the table from not a great position, and then edged their way into the playoffs, and then edged their way into the automatic promotion places. But when you arrive in the automatic promotion places, the team wasn't necessarily in great form at that point, but nevertheless arrived at that stage. Do you think that the pressure of getting to that level and then the expectation of having to maintain that may have had a negative effect on how the team was performing?
I don't think it was too much of where we were in the table at the time. I guess they always say it's easier to chase the teams than it is to be in there and stay there. But I think I couldn't put my finger on why we came off. Obviously, we had certain injuries at times, but it shouldn't have affected us in the way it did for so long. But I don't think it was anything to do with where we were in the table, getting into the automatics and people thinking differently. I just think sometimes in football, teams go through little patches, and hopefully we can come out the other side of it now and come into some good form at the right time.
When things aren't going well, is there a tendency or a natural move to just try and ensure that you don't concede that first goal, and as a result of that, maybe not be quite as attacking from the get-go as you'd want? So, for example, we've seen you and Otis Calm bombing up and down the wings at various points through the season, but when things haven't been going well, is there a tendency to take a defensive first approach?
Yeah, I think definitely each game calls us for different kind of approaches. I think we've played a couple of games recently where we have had to stay back and be more compact at times, but I think, does it change on the results? I think maybe subconsciously, but I don't think you go out there and think we're going to stay back and be more resolute. But I think that the form sort of affects when we do score first, holding on to that lead, it becomes a bit of a natural thing, because you just want to maintain what you've been given, then go and get in the second and third, which I think in times earlier on in the season we were doing. We were going and killing teams off. But that's just a mental thing, which hopefully we can change now going into the last sort of 3 or 5 games of the season.
James was saying to Coop before, Saturday's game will be the Tranmere's 56th game of the season. Not a small season, is it? So, and you've played a great deal of that. I know you're still a young lad, a lot younger than me. But you know, how are your own energy levels, and is it hard for professional footballers to maintain that level over what is such a slog of a season, especially when it's all being played behind closed doors?
It's not too hard. We'd be getting the fitness to be able to do this. I guess if the fans were there, it would give you another kick, like maybe again, like when we had that little spell with fans in the season, it gives you that little boost of energy. But I think we're all in pretty good condition. I think the lads are all feeling strong. There's a lot of lads older than me in the team who also feel very well, feel strong, can keep going. So I don't think there's any question that we'll tire out throughout the season. It's been the same for everyone. So I think we'll all be good.
Did that win on Tuesday really just give you a bit of a morale boost, though, especially, you know, just going that frustrating period of just not being able to pick up a win, especially knowing that there's quite a lot at stake in the next few weeks?
Yeah, it keeps us within a chance of something really to play for if we win these games. I think if we lost or drew that game, it would have been then solely probably focusing on the playoffs, which we don't have to do just yet. We can still set our sights on those top 3 positions. And it also sort of closes off, as long as we back it up on Saturday, it sort of closes off that little period where we were struggling. But that's all it was, really. I think just getting those 3 points was massive for the lads.
Obviously, you're still without James Vaughan at the moment. We just saw him for a couple of games for a short period of time. But when you haven't got a talismanic striker like that right down the middle who's banged in 20 goals in a season, do you have to alter the way that you build attacks, and you know, do the instructions change for you in a wide position?
Yeah, it's going to be a different way of playing. We haven't got that exact focal point, which he is. But other lads have come in up front, and it's difficult for lads out of position to go play through the middle. But I think everyone's given it a fair go. We've had a good go at it. We've tried loads of different ways of playing to combat it, and then hopefully now we can find that sort of one which will stick with us and we can move forward with it.